what is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the fourth album by American rapper and record producer Busta Rhymes. Based this particular product is called Anarchy, and it came out in the late spring of the year 2000. So what the embarrassed about it here, this is with the string of hit Busta Rhymes albums that came out in the early 2000s, pitched like that. The next one after this one was Genesis. The one after that was It Ain't Safe No More. As far as this pitch can happen, so within the variety, as far as saying, I've covered a good portion of 2000s Busta Rhymes and maybe like one or so from the 90s pitch like that. I think one of which was When Disaster Strikes pitch like that. So it's within varieties wanting to get towards some. I think one of which was When Disaster Strikes pitch like that. Sounding surprised, but within the pitch, yeah, I reviewed a portion of 2000s kind of Busta Rhymes album pitch. I reviewed a portion of good 2000s Busta Rhymes albums pitches like that, including the 2009 one, Back on My BS, as far as the special albums. But within these pitches, I've owned this album for a particular while, but kind of the complex about this album, the reason why it took me so lengthily to get toward, I've owned this album for probably 10, 15 years, pitches like that, but it's kind of variety as far as saying getting towards the product. The main fear about this album, that was just the aspect behind it as far as fucking with it within these type of ordeals, just trying to find like the hit songs. It was a little bit more within the composition as far as saying within the product, just not trying to figure out like the biggest songs, because within the pitch, this is not the typical kind of Busta Rhymes album that's his largest. When you think Genesis was definitely a smash hit with like Dr. Dre beats on there, some folks like that, I think it's had more contemporary type sound within that hit type appeal. Pretty central, like a big staple, one of the larger staples out of the year 2001. It was the same thing with It Ain't Safe No More from 2002, and especially the Big Bang from 2006 with hit songs like I Love My Bitch and Touch It. So one's good pitch like that. But this particular one, just a little bit beforehand. This is kind of like the album before the album. Now Busta Rhymes was always large enough, would usually get at least one or two singles off his albums in like the 90s and pitches like that. But this particular pair does have a couple singles on here, but it's kind of pitches for us saying they're not quite as largely complex when you think of some of those type ones, like, you know, like Break Your Neck and some stuff ones from around this time, from like 2001, and like I Know What You Want with Mariah Carey from It Ain't Safe No More, some stuff pitches. So it's kind of variety as far as saying, but this is a classic album. I'm just going to go ahead and say there's 20 songs on here, good pitch like that. This good, excellent staple. This is a good taste, like the vintage type flair within pitches like that. This is a little bit before Jay-Z's The Dynasty, which was getting ready to tear things up in the fall of 2000. This is kind of a scratchier era for things within these pitches. The year 2000 was kind of an awkward year within these aspects, because probably apart from Eminem's The Marshall Mathers LP, and like Outkast, Stankonia, Sons of Pitches, it was kind of more just with the aspect of like the composition of things, grafting, getting to like some new sounds as to how the 2000s would wind up shaping. So this is a year and some change before Jay-Z's hit album The Blueprint, which really shaped things across the 2000s and pitch like that. So this was kind of a little bit more just kind of laying the foundation, the initial paint on the easel as far as what's supposed to happen. It's kind of pitch as far as paying attention like the flair, but the pitch behind it, one particular folks, some of these type trends are kind of sparky on this album is the leftover type vibes as to how hit and capital that DMX was around this time. There's a number of tunes that kind of have like that Chinatown and Traffic Slug that DMX is pretty well known for, pitch like that within that ferocity. Now Busta Rhymes is usually pretty carnivorous. He's pretty known for like his hype kind of energy factor and pitch like that, but it's really not on here as full bound within these pitches. Kind of the fair that he actually keeps a better composition. It's just kind of the fair, the impact of like the delivery is a little bit larger this time within these pitches. Kind of variety that it has a good portion of this being. It's just a more kind of passive-aggressive kind of Busta Rhymes out within these pitches. Even like the songs that do have a high octane on here, like some of these type ones, thinking songs like Why We Die in particular, like other type jumps in there, like We Put It Down For Y'all and Blood Out, some of those type ones within pitches like that are kind of variety as far as saying it's just a little bit more, the composition is just, it has a little bit more leery type factor within these pitches, not so much full-blown leery as if like completely aghast and haunting, but just kind of pitch it, just the aspect behind it is just not, if you're expecting like the Touch It kind of Busta Rhymes pitches like that, some stuff variety, and like the hoo-ha got them all in check. I think some particular song within some of that type variety pitches like that, some of those type ones, Break Your Neck, some of those type ones within that sort of ferocity, not as full bound within these pitches, but it is a pretty composed type album. Just the pitch for us and the hit type appeal. The beats are definitely out the chain on here, a little bit quieter within these aspects. The only thing it really lacks is full bound, and it's just the pitch. Like this album should have definitely did more damage than it particularly did, because it's a pretty signified type album with the pitch as far as saying the singles on here are some good aspects, but this was kind of an era where I think the aspect was just whether or not it was going to be Busta Rhymes more so within the pitch. Not like he couldn't have carried the torch for some of these type aspects, but it's just kind of pitch as far as saying that The only real fact about this album within the pitch, I like the quality about it, is it did not have like an anchored kind of megaton type hit. Thinking like the way Eminem had like the Real Slim Shady or Stan or particular like Way I Am, some of those pitches within the variety kind of amongst it. It's just it lacks like a particular kind of anchor. But other than that, it's a pretty classic album. But yeah, I recommend all 20 songs out here. So 10 out of 10. So the lead single is Get Out as far as these physical albums. It's like a good Hard Knock Life by Jay-Z kind of offshoot to get and kind of a Dewey City Frog to kind of get here pitch like that. It's like a cheery but kind of groggy type factor about a pitch like that. It's good for like a Doritos run. So it's fair. So this composition, this really feels like Tibble type Travis. This is Busta Rhymes like aspect behind like a ton, just good pitches. These are some of those type ones, and just like the day kind of dewy ass kind of sunshine within the pitch, just something to kind of listen to within like those rainy kind of mornings within the pitch. It just typical kind of makes you push along pitch like that. When you think of a hit song by Cameron like My Job, or I think that particular Cubicle song that Cameron did off of Crime Pays from 2009, My Job or something like that within those pitches, it kind of just feels like an Office Space type song pitch like that. It has like that relative aspect, but it is like a good kind of furthering of like the aspects. Some of those Annie kind of just Hard Knock Life kind of sample type tunes from like the 80s, 70s further back within those pitches just feels like Shirley Temple type vibes pitch like that, sounds type varieties amongst it, but it's just kind of fair as far as saying it's one of those type ones where just kind of a trek along and a truck along within those pitches like the composition, just getting towards the product to like the Tibble kind of gulag kind of city day scenes. It's just kind of with the pitch, but within the aspect, good factory kind of composition, good pitch like that, but it's kind of fair as far as saying just within the aspects, just keeping like the aspect. Keeping like the flair of like some Zaz factor about it, I'd say probably just throw in like some cooler and Doritos kind of have within like the tone behind it, get a spliff going, some of those tones that within the availability pitches like that. But this very similar to Jay-Z type aspects, but this it's within that particular type variety. So good buzz single, good pitch like that, good excellent varieties. Fire is a hitting type ones, like a getting pumped and initial kind of club tear up to get here pitch like that. Just an early bird kind of rough draft touch it, I'd say by pitch. His particular tunes like an early bird kind of rough draft touch it by Busta Rhymes from 2006, good fares like that. Now obviously 6 years before, but good excellent pitches within those varieties. There's some dance claps to get to here. Now this is good banginess, but this kind of product as far as saying within some of these initial type conducts as far as paying attention like the varieties. Just the hit type appeal amongst some of this is good type aspects, but just kind of flair. I don't know if it was just like the just a little bit scratchier within those tones as far as this pitch. It's definitely a banging type one, plenty of good spliffs to get in your system, good pitch like that. So I'm surprised get, Divas popping it, good pitch like that, popping it with hella slam, good pitch like that. But it's kind of fair as far as saying strub the ground as far as these pitches go. But it's kind of the pitch as far as saying paying attention just within the aspect. It's kind of the tone as far as just like it's just throwback within these pitches. It just feels pretty like not so much full bound ancient, but kind of just definitely kind of yesteryear within some of the products as far as the pitch kind of happens now. Just within certain type tunes, like when you think of like Jay-Z's kind of Hustler Baby with Pharrell as far as this pitch, like Give It To Me or something. I forget the full bound name of that song, but it's off the Dynasty pitch like that. That has a little bit, that one aged a little bit better within pitch like that, but it's just kind of aspect, just a retroactive type one, but it is banging within those pitches. But it's a more staccato type club song pitch like that, but it is the fiery type one, so definitely some good pitches about fire pitch like that. So plenty of these on here pitch like that, some of these hit type varieties. So yeah, particularly Why We Die is one of the most popular songs of this album according to Spotify, apart from like Show Me What You Got pitches like that. So Why We Die is like, this has particularly DMX and Jay-Z on here, so it's good nice one to beeline for a pitch like that, but it's not as if there aren't other type ones like that. Why We Die is like a dope factory kind of club rival to get, kind of like Get At Me Dog by DMX, that was hit around that time in NY pitch like that. This feels like a Swizz Beatz kind of, tune pitch like that. Just some traffic slog to get to here. Definitely some excellent kind of traffic slog pitch like that. So it's kind of variety as far as saying paying attention to some of those type ones. Plenty of these type ones when you think of like particular tunes by DMX, like Where the Hood At and some of these type ones. Party Up in here, since that pitch, just that same sort of Frosty is just kind of like a mini DMX type song pitch like that. And as a bonus, Jay-Z's on here as well, so it's good excellent pitches within these varieties. On top of that, Busta Rhymes, so it's good excellent pitch as far as these varieties going to happen. Some blistering kind of rile pitches like that. Anarchy, the title track, is a good hit type one. Now this has a real kind of, this particular one has a real good kind of snarl and hauntiness about it within pitch like that. It's like a good dewy but grim kind of city weaving to get to here pitches. Some of these good type players to grab like some Cool Ranch Doritos, get some gal favors going pitch like that. It's kind of a moody type song. You need like some sort of hit me and kind of bounce back within sense of pitch. So it's kind of probably just checking your phone since you're probably to get towards the product to this, get some get some better moods in your system, pitch like that. So this is kind of fair. It's just, this is one of the more gassed up ones within the product. Like this particular album, judging by the cover, you would think that there would be loads of songs within these particular type of products. It's kind of pitch. I feel like there are songs like Anarchy on here, like Get Out kind of has that in a relative type sense. It just kind of feels a little bit, it almost feels like Get Out has like a degree of cheek about it within certain type of pitch. Not to say full bound like it, like that's a problem with service. This kind of pitch, it just like that particular, it feels almost grim within certain types of. This feels almost scratchy and grim within those products for us, especially having just some ones within those aspects. Other type ones we had, definitely Anarchy is a hit type of appeal, pitches like that. Most popular song on this album, according to Spotify, is Show Me What You Got. Good pitches here is like a dredgy and droopy kind of long day glaze. Get to hear some of these hit type varieties. This cold beer would be great. Some of these I've asked in the tone, get like a good nice Budweiser 2 or 3 pitch like that. Just some Popeyes on top of that. Good buttery biscuits. A nice crispy chicken, spicy chicken, good pitch like that. Some of those stuff there is just some porch gap gonna get to just to cheer up some of these type varieties. I have like a homie or two around. Some of these type pitch is just good. Connect after like the product that just like they just got done. Ball game on since the pitch extra type varieties. Good Adam Sandler movie since the pitch with a tone behind it. Ladao is the hitting type ones, like a Liddy kind of chandelier and finery kind of parlay to get to here, pitch like that. Just grab like some gal treats, fairs like that. Get like some almond joys, things of basics and tone, good accent products, pitches like that. Licorice, some of these stuff fairs, good accent pitches. Just nice one to ham it up kind of within the out and the fray pitches like that. Just kind of miss the gab of it, city type product. Just some evening shopping, I'd say here, since the pitch is just within the late shift, probably past 5:36 p.m. pitch like that. Pawn shops within the aspects, price within good pitches. It's probably good nice tune to be high as hell too. Pitch like that, just particularly stoned. More or less like a sniggering type song, but just kind of miss the pitch. Just enjoying like the product, like the after effects, like the goings along. It has kind of varieties amongst like Wu-Tang samples, but they're just not as much martial arts within these pitches. So it just has some good sample compositions on here. Just kind of the product of kind of being like a Wu-Tang kind of composition and aesthetic about it, but it's just kind of more within the pitch. It is kind of like a more gas and just kind of. I do like the leery type feel amongst this album within these pitches. It's a good accent variety, kind of having like that particular fair disc. This particular album has some banging kind of leery type varieties and just like a more gas kind of Wu-Tang type flavor. So it's kind of pitchy. This is like a creepier kind of Wu-Tang album, I'd say, within the sense to pitch. Some of these type ones like Bladao and pitch like that, good accent varieties, good pitch like that. Street shit's the hitting type ones, like a nice city surf and rec room kind of lift weights and pizza boxes around, pitch like that. Some of that fairs amongst it, just some pals kind of run around and say here, pitch like that. Just some gabs kind of get to. So this kind of the product. So this is a good nice one that probably feels like another type tune kind of within the DMX type variety. I think this is produced by Just Blaze. There are some good producers on here, like folks like Knots and Just Blaze, and like Scott Storch is on here, Swizz Beatz is on here a few times. Some of these type folks within that type of varieties. I think Rock Wilder is on here. So it's definitely some good accent pitches like that, hit type appeals. Particularly, we put it down for y'all as a hit type one within these aspects, as well as like a warped and dismantled kind of club zone out to get to here, pitch like that. Definitely get some sniggering going. Some of these aspects is hell meme pack within some of these aspects. The kind of tone, have hella pals with you, pitch like that. Just going through a bag. Going through a couple of family-sized bags of Doritos, pitch like that within these varieties. As far as these aspects going to have, it's kind of pitch as far as talking about within these hit type appeals. It's kind of the product. Some demon time kind of enjoyment, like a marinade type sense, pitch like this. This kind of slump type factor, get towards the product, getting crunk with it, just get the this accent type products that just enjoying. Some tore up kind of embellished pitch like this. So the therapist on here, pitch like that. Some of these accent type products, good pitches, particularly. Salute the Gods is a nice one as well for a tone switch up. Some of the aspects is like a particular kind of fine fit and composed in a few rounds. Salute the Gods like a fine fit and composed in like a few rounds of showing composition about it within pitch like that. Just some date sites, some of these type of deals. So kind of the pitch. Some of those type of songs that remind of like moments like off of Biggie's kind of Life After Death, like Fucking You Tonight with R. Kelly, and then also like tunes, but some of those type ones that were particularly by Puff Daddy off of No Way Out, like the one he particularly did with, I think it was Genuine, one of those type folks, or songs like Is This the End with Carl Thomas and Genuine. Some that pitches, good accent varieties, pitch like that, and Twist on there's good pitch as far as the surprise can have, but within the pitch as far as saying. So it kind of has that particular kind of Big Sean type flavor pitch like that when you think of like plenty of songs off like Finally Famous from 2011 pitch like that, but it's kind of, yeah, way back in the year 2000 pitch like that. So it's kind of starry, good pitch like that, so I'm surprised, just appreciating like the glam factor. Enjoy the ride. It's a nice one within these pitches as well. It's like a good Jay-Z kind of dynasty era kind of style glam to get within Sunset Products. It's a spiffy kind of city rumination. I'd say just out in the town, kind of appreciating the size pink skies, kind of endearment pitches like that. Eminem vibes about this song pitches. Some of those type ones kind of feels more like Slim Shady LP more so than Marshall Mathers LP. Marshall Mathers LP was a little bit darker, but it's one of those type ones. Kind of say like rock bottom, one of those type pitches, or like particular like 97 Bonnie and Clyde, but I guess kind of within that vanilla-ness of songs like Rock Bottom and 97 Bonnie and Clyde by Eminem. Those were some dark songs as well within those pitches, but it's kind of the product it is kind of, it's a dazed type one within the pitch, just an overall hot type one within the aspect as far as these pitch guys. So it's kind of pitch as far as saying, it's kind of within those products. It's just kind of the tone. It kind of almost feels like a buzz single pitch like that. This would be a good, nice one for some of those type players as far as saying within these products. It's kind of the pitch. It's just kind of a trendy type one within these aspects. It's within the varieties. This is kind of where the brooding and rumination type first started to pick up with folks like Eminem, Tech Nine, some of those type folks. Even Hobson was kind of getting towards being around in like 2003, 2004. So it's good pitch as far as those varieties can have. I think Busta Rhymes can pull off some of these vibes within aspects. It's this kind of pitch. Devin feels like Slim Shady LP and Marshall Mathers LP, Eminem, some of those pitches. Now, when I was saying that, it's kind of within the variety of it being kind of like, no, it's dark. I mean, it has some of that Eminem rumination on there, but it's just kind of pitch. It's just not as full bound within the dark type facet. It's just, it's kind of like a food for thought on there, but it's just kind of pitch. It just kind of like more endeared, kind of like stunned by like the endearment pitch like that, but it's just kind of fair, just kind of taken in the sights like a good evening, pink skies evening pitch just like that. Come on, all my niggas. Come on, all my bitches is a hit type one. Come on all my niggas, come on all my bitches is a hit type one as well as like a wired but baked kind of late shift errand to get to here pitch like that. Some stuff fries, just have burritos in your system. Some stuff, some of those excellent type fries, good type air, talk about run sense to pitches and more of the later shift. Just get some naps going. Some of those type fries as well. So it's kind of pitch, just a real sleepy type one, just doze off. Some stuff ordeals. Have some Fritos, brush your teeth, and that takes care of it within these pitches. As far as variety's going to happen, it's kind of the pitch as far as saying, but just looking after within some step four deals within the pitch as far as paying attention, like the product just kind of has the aspect within the fair. It's just kind of just some of those type aspects where it's just kind of the tone. This is a good affable type one within pitch, like the after hours type product pitches like that. Some hit type varieties. Some demon time that's more homebound pitches like that. PlayStation might be on some stuff fairs, but it's kind of pitch. It just like going for a burrito run some stuff pitches with that aspect, which is kind of the composition. It is stretched out. Just nowadays it'd be like an aimless kind of Netflix night pitch like that. Call Bay Up, some stuff fairs. Just the pitch of just some of those stuff products. It just kind of time waste fairs like that. Get hell spliffs and memes going, some stuff pitches amongst it. Make noise is a nice one within these aspects as well as like a jarred and scattered kind of schizo traffic to get to here pitch like that. Just yeah. Make noise like a jarred and scattered kind of schizo traffic to get to here pitch like that. It's like a routine, good standard routine, but it's interesting as far as these fairs. So it's not so much gripe within the fact, it's kind of the composition and enjoying the factor of it. Just the same typical dredge, just list of shit to get roped as far as these fairs going to happen. It's that usual composition. This is one of these type ones that feels like a typical kind of wire up that Busta Rhymes would have within those pitches. This is more him off of like his late 90s type vibes, some of those type aspects like off of When Disaster Strikes, some of those type pitches within the hit type appeal to some of those centric type ones. It's kind of DMX type fries within like that traffic gulag and the rile up within those pitches, but just more with like an electro kind of Busta Rhymes type fire with his type energy. So it's good excellent pitches. Hit type appeals here, ready for war. It's a nice one within these aspects, like a solid kind of buzz single, getting like some NY glam, I'd say, pitch like that. It's like an early bird kind of Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z, 9-10 years before that practically within those pitches. Good X and bars, good nice one to get like a Quiznos lunch, some of those that fairs amongst it. It's kind of fair, just appreciating like the city scene, hot dog shops, then the New York kind of flavor, just hot dog stands, sometimes the pitch is just within the aspect of smoking behind buildings, fairs like that, just kind of composition, stationing a vehicle, parking lot that fair, just smoking up a Zagger 2 pitch like that. Appreciate like the varieties. Some good, nice kind of cheery kind of city traffic pitch like that. Pretty similar to Get Out, but just less dewy within those aspects. So it's good pitch amongst more summer shine pitch like that. How Much We Grew is a hit type one within these aspects as well. It's like a rainy and city kind of ghetto day passage to get to here pitch like that. Just kind of keep your head up type fair signs of aspects to some this would be like some keep your head up type traffic pitch like that, some stuff right. So it's kind of within the aspect. This is kind of not so much like the opposite of like a rile that DMX would kind of have and some of those stuff folks within like the. This is less of like a traffic rile and more of just like a makeshift kind of one within these pitches. So like the typical kind of rainy type fair, just more within a more kind of. This particular one has more blue collar, kind of keep it trucking type flare pitches like that. So it's kind of Hardy's type fare. Some of that, get some of that good nice fare in your system. Grub real nice as far as these fares going to go. There's kind of a glummer, more chummy kind of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday type fare, but excellent type pitches. Probably takes, I would definitely say some Hardee's croissants fares like that would probably take the edge off good 65, 73%. So type pitches when the aspects proceeds for have good excellent pitches. And now within the full boundness, if your diet doesn't allow for a pitch like that, just some good type products, just figure out some sort of party favor within those aspects. But it's good, nice pitch, just having that particular product and get some smokes in your system. If you don't have to dry pitch like that, definitely has the aspect of just having the cheer up factor going. The trip out of town's a nice one within these aspects, like a red hot kind of early bird, kind of Jay-Z blueprint and DJ drama, kind of mixtape harshness to get to here, pitch like that. Just some grit, I would definitely say here. Just get some grapes in your system, grape sweet, sunny stuff fairs. This definitely feels like some of those type aspects that would be decorated all throughout the 2000s with like that particular fair. So it's kind of a trendy type one within pitch. Now it's not. This particular album is not littered with like those compositions within those pitches, but it's good type varieties, paying attention to some of those type aspects that the initial formation, some of that was with Busta Rhymes as well within these pitches, that he had some of that particular wherewithal with it as far as those particular albums that started to hit things with like the blueprint with Jay-Z a year later. More type folks are getting towards that. Having a good mixtape and Wu-Tang type flair about a trip out of town pitch like that. All Night is a nice type one. It's like an early bird kind of get rich era 50 Cent, I'd say. All Night is a nice one. It's like an early bird kind of get rich era 50 Cent type tune pitch like that. I'd say just throw some money and BS type fair pitch like that. Just kind of a house party type low key type jamboree, I'd say pitch like that. It's another good Zaz factor and ear to the street stuff factor with some of these type pitches like trends that were going to happen years later within some type aspects. So it's kind of pitch as far as saying just some good type variety amongst the composition. This particular album is a pretty good chameleon within these aspects as far as like the fairs that's having a number like the DMX type styles, the Jay-Z blueprint and mixtape type styles, the 50 Cent type styles, and G-Unit type styles. Some of these pitches amongst the composition, kind of amongst it. There's some good nice ones. Leftover type knowledge type vibes, Wu-Tang type vibes on here as well. Some of these type varieties, just accent varieties amongst some of these type pitches. The kind of slump type fashion, like some ones that are like early birds, like particular Empire, State of Mind, and Hard Knock Live. Some compositions like some Jay-Z type songs like Hard Knock. Some excellent type ones of compositions of Jay-Z type songs like Hard Knock Live, and some excellent type ones of some Jay-Z compositions like Hard Knock Life and Empire State of Mind as far as these first albums. Within aspects, as far as saying it has the particular Zaz factor, it's kind of a pitch. I would feel like this is one that had a lot to do with like the aspect of kind of being within the neighboring type community. This is just one that kind of feels like within the notion of fucking with the number of kind of hit type albums from the 2000s. This probably needs to be within that loud pack as far as saying it's just the variety kind of amongst it. Yeah, but All Night definitely feels like 50 Cent and Lloyd Banks and Tony Ayo. Some of these folks should definitely show up on this song at any moment. Pretty trendy for way back in like the year. Pretty trendy for way back in like the summer of the year 2000 pitch like that. The Heist is a nice one as well within these aspects, like a highlight kind of 90s Wu-Tang kind of. The Heist is a nice type one within these pitches as well as like a highlight kind of 90s Wu-Tang kind of city, have dinner, spaghetti and finery type fair pitches like that. Just typical kind of rope utility, some of these aspects amongst it. This particular one just feels like it was produced by DJ Premier, pitches like that, some of this hit type price. So kind of pitch, it has folks on here like particularly Ghostface Killo's on there, Raekwon's on there, good excellent pitches. He's a little bit tougher to track down, and Rock Marciano's on there as well, good pitches about that. It's excellent type players within those pitches. Banging toughness, just appreciate like the varieties is something that kind of feels like particular like Boom by Royce to 5'9", some stuff pitch amongst the good excellent varieties within those pitches. Just kind of city step out glam and some of those type aspects. I think one of the last ones I haven't talked about on here pitch like that is Here We Go Again. It's like a solid kind of DMX and Rough Riders kind of traffic in Chinatown kind of romp around to get to here. Some of these type aspects just kind of shop. Some day shopping, some of those type products amongst it, just kind of rope some things, get the tasks of it taken care of, get the gap centric, and just kind of go and figure out the drops and stuff products within the pitch, get things stationed for gal pitch like that. Definite lunchtime type flair, some of those type pitches, just appreciating like the NY kind of city sunshine, some of those type aspects from the pitch behind it. Then the pitch behind it, good flares like that. And I think there's another one I haven't talked about on here, which is We Coming Through, is hit type PLs. We Coming Through is like a Liddy kind of amongst like lunch break and city kind of day sun and slag as far as these first guys. Definitely get some hoagies in your system, fares like that. Good Subway type fare, Quiznos, some stuff aspects amongst it. Pepper jack cheese, get some pepper jack cheese, provolone, some stuff pitches with an aspect. Get some good products, some spices, kind of some jalapenos in there, good pitch like that, excellent type fries. Just get like a cocoa blunt, chocolate blunt, so it's the best in tone, good excellent hit type fries, really get the delectables going, pitch like that. It's real nice, kind of just halfway done with the day, pitch like that, so it's type fries amongst it, kind of the fries as far as saying getting towards the product of appreciating like the traffic flare and some of the pitches are just the variety. Now within the composition, if you are at work, some of the fares, probably just would stick with like the hoagie type fare more so than the cocoa blunt, but just with the pitch as far as saying within the later type aspects, just have some of that within the fares and not having to do those Saturday type fare just pitches, particularly hit Thursday, some of those type aspects where the smoke type fare would be more station pitch like that. Trying to think of some other type ones I haven't talked about on here. I think one of the last ones I haven't talked about on here is Live It Up. As far as these pairs going to have them within pitch like that, Live It Up's like a solid dap and hype up, I'd say here, pitch like that. Some of those good type varieties, just a calmer kind of DMX style kind of traffic run through, I'd say pitch like that. This kind of stokes you within pitches, but it's just more steady about it. This is one of those type ones that Busta Rhymes pretty good at within these pitches, within these aspects, as far as like the pairs. There's another one I was trying to say about on here. I forget which particular full bound type one it was. Oh yeah, I think it was Make Noise within these products as far as these pairs kind of, but Live It Up's just kind of like a blood pumping type one pitch like that, so I'm surprised just to Live It Up, some more blood pumping type one pitch like that, so it's fair just amongst the aspect getting some thrills kind of going within the pitch of this more kind of composition pitch like that, but just kind of some of those stuff fiery type ones within the pitch, just good thrills amongst it. So yeah, Busta Rhymes, definitely a pro at some of these type aspects, his energy type factor, he's one of these type folks. Some of these NY type folks are really excellent within like the player Jadakiss, Chic Luch, DMX, particularly Busta Rhymes. Definitely, I'd say some of these type pitches within the aspect that kind of get the energy factor of it going real loud within these pitches. Ghostface Kill is pretty good at it as well within these pitches with like the fish scale. I'm just kind of pitch for saying just that ignition kind of gets you hyped up in pitches like that. But it's also Busta Rhymes not being pigeonholed like the fire, not just having to be rave and veins pumping out your neck pitch like that within Sunset Fire. So this kind of pitch just getting you through come with the aspect of not having to scream and yell about it. So it's good pitch. So it's good pitch as far as nailing those flares about it as well. So it's kind of composition. But yeah, gonna be bomb diggity tonight. Since the pitch, figure out the tongue, get some cocoa blunts going. Since the fastest, good accent pitches, hypnotic on top of that, good accent varieties. So I think that takes care of it within these pitches as far as this album kind of happens within these hit type appeals, pitches like that. So yeah, this album gets a 10 out of 10, plenty of hit type tones on here. Social score is going to get pretty much, I might give the social score like a 9.75 out of 10. Now the appeal behind this album is pretty banging within the aspect. I definitely feel like the composition, the quality of this album overlooks most of that particular factor, but the main disappointment, it's not so much a disappointment, but the main kind of chip on this album's shoulder is just the fair as far as saying that it just lacks something within like the variety. The way Jay-Z, Eminem, some of these folks would have hit songs and Outkast and stuff folks out of the year. Like this is one of the best albums like I can think of from the year 2000 in terms of rap music, but it's just kind of pitch. It just doesn't have like the anchor to be able to prove that. Like when you think of like Marshall Mathers LP, you think of Way I Am, Real Slim Shady, Stan, some of the stuff ones, Drug Ballad, Kim, some of the stuff ones in the aspect, but it's kind of the pitch as far as saying this particular album. Same thing with Jay-Z with like Give It To Me and some of those type ones pitches like that. Mystical with like Been So Long and like particular like Shake Your Ass, some of those type ones pitch like that. This album just doesn't have that. And it's kind of pitch. It has everything but like the Megaton, this number 1 or number 5 or number 15 within these pitches. So I'd say some good, nice appeals. I definitely feel like the DMX type tunes on here, these traffic type ones, Busta Rhymes really mastered on this particular album. Just the aspect of getting like these traffic turn ups, whether it's actually ferocious type energy like DMX or just good varieties of it with this kind of more passive aggressive type flares. This kind of pitch. It really understands like the pitch of just some of these type ones, just the mastery of having like the concept like Traverse type ones to kind of have the right mode, keeping it interesting. Not every single one's like a blood pumping type one to like the fury of it, but just some good type pitches. Just having like the goodies in your system, so stuff there is just figuring out the next modes, just lunch break type fare, rec room type fare, lunch break type fare, the ghetto type fare, just like rainy type days, pitch like that. Some good nice ones getting you in the composition like Get Out, like within Hard Knock Life type fares, just amongst that typical kind of weekday reports, pitches like that, Monday, Tuesday, and more springtime rainy type sense. Some nice ones on here, the rile ups that are not quite as energetic, pitch like that, like Live It Up and Make Noise. So it's just some good composition amongst some of these stuff fares, just being able to do it. Just pitch like that, you do get some tear up in your system, plenty of good glare and red eyes type flares, get some burritos in your system, pitches like that, some type aspect, just within the after effects, get some grape swisher sweets, fares like that, and cocoa blunts and type acids and tones, as these pitch can have them. Chinatown type bronze pitch like that, some dap with your pals, good connect and conversation, get the gal favors going on top of that, just keep that station with some of these type pitches. Now this album does not really have a full bound kind of lady song on here. There's no real R&B starlet within these pitches. That's the only other thing about it, is it's needing like Mariah Carey or one of those type folks on here. But other than that, basically the fair about it is this kind of composition, just roping it within like the fair. It's just kind of pitch, just saying it's just, it has like the aspect, just the aspect of getting towards the product, but picking up the things for gal along the way, pitch like that, some stuff aspect, getting like the Spotify gift cards nowadays, some stuff pitches like keychains or jackets or shirts or socks, and stuff appeals, pitch like that, some stuff. But this kind of aspect, just on the go, getting towards the station, this good product, just out in the move and pitch like that, some of the stuff with like the smoke factor. and makeshift pitch like this. A good excellent price, I would say 9.75 social. In terms of the future, like Busta Rhymes has seemingly, like, he's getting ready to put, I saw on Hip Hop Deluxe that he was getting ready to put out an album. I forget, like, Busta Rhymes getting ready to drop a 2026 album with J Dill as far as he's supposed to have an RIP to him as far as he's supposed to have within these pitches. But being able to say within these hit type rides, that's the composition what's been up in recent type times. I want to say he's dropped albums at least up to 2022, 2023 pitch like that. It's been some recent type pairs, possibly 2024 within these pitches. Some good banging type ones. I'm going to catch up with some of these type ones. I do want to get to like Year of the Dragon from 2012 and some of these other type ones like It Ain't Safe No More from 2002. There's still some ones to get left to by Busta Rhymes pitch like that. Hit type appeals, getting caught up with some of these type ones, definitely the banging typeness. I need to get like the Flip Mode Squad album as well. There's some good folks on here apart from that, just to say Jay-Z, DMX is on here, Lenny Kravitz is on here, MOP is on here, Raekwon, few of the Wu-Tang members on here, Rock Marciano's on here. There's good excellent pitches amongst any surprise. Like I said, a good list of hit producers pitch like that. Nas, Rockwilder, some hit folks like Nas, Rockwilder, Just Blaze, some of these stuff folks, Swiss Beats, obviously, Scott Storch, some of these stuff pitches. So his hit type feels good pitch like that. This overall classic is kind of more unsung within these pitches, but definitely worth looking into easily within these hit pitches. It's kind of wayside, but definitely a detonator paying attention to price if you can look past it, just not having an anchored kind of single.